Welcome back, everybody. Amanda is here, nutritionist Amanda McKean, and a bit of a break from the kitchen today, Amanda, bringing you over to our comfy set.
Yeah, I get to sit down.
Yes.
This is the cushy.
Relax, put your feet up on the couch. Yeah, no, and really, this is a segment I don't think we've done, at least not for a long time with you, just to talk about supplements, because as you said just a moments ago during the break, there's a lot of questions around supplements. What should I be taking? I was telling you it feels overwhelming sometimes, and your social media feeds you all this stuff, and you're like, what am I supposed to be taking?
There's a lot of information. New studies come out at like the pace of light, and then there's marketers, right? Yeah. So couple things to point out first and foremost when you're thinking of supplements is, number one, they're not regulated the same way that drugs are.
Okay.
So you want to be buying something that's of a good quality because there's no government agency that will like do a random test of your magnesium to make sure, is there actually magnesium in there? Is it actually the amount they're saying? Is it up to standards? So it's best to look for companies that employ a third-party tester. They send their products off to like a third party that's non-biased to make sure the quality is there.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, so it's not as heavily regulated as a medication would be. And melatonin is actually a really famous example of that, where it can be wildly varied from what it actually says on the package as to what's in that tablet or pill.
That's kind of scary.
Right, yeah.
Or like concerning, right? You want to make sure you're ingesting something that is what it says.
Yeah, so lots of times when you're shopping, it's worth paying that little bit of extra for a company that really goes the extra mile to ensure quality.
Okay, so some of those companies would be some of the ones you brought here, or these
there's
better
a few here. I actually buy a lot of mine from Costco, but like this one, the Preferred Nutrition brand, AOR is a really good one. I don't have them all here.
But these are obviously like reputable companies and ones that would be somewhat decent and safe to take. So when it comes to actually picking the supplements, I mean, what are sort of the top ones that you would recommend? Or does it vary?
It does vary depending on the individual. There are 4 that I sort of blanket recommend because they're just not as available in our diet. Before I recommend those, though, please talk to your primary healthcare provider before you make any major changes. But the ones I would definitely look at are vitamin C, unless you're consistently eating 7 to 12 fruits and vegetables a day. We can all use a little more vitamin C.
I applaud you if you are. That's amazing.
Yeah. Magnesium is another one that's just not as available in our food supply as it once was. If you eat a lot of nuts, like these pumpkin seeds and these Brazil nuts are really high in magnesium.
Nuts,
but a lot of us don't get a lot of that in our diet, so it might be worthwhile looking at supplementing. Magnesium is used in over 400 different processes in the body, so when we get low, we can feel it in a number of ways.
So it's really important.
It is, and then omega-3s is another one we don't tend to have in our Western diet. If you're eating a lot of cold water fish or flax seeds or walnuts, you may be getting it from your diet, but chances are probably not. And
even then, I mean, how much are you really getting, right? Like, unless you're eating it consistently every day, all day.
No, not every day, like twice a week. If you have salmon twice a week, you're probably covering your bases, but who can afford to do that these days?
Well, that's another thing too, and that's probably what's changed over the years as well, is just like
availability of
whether you can afford something, and then you kind of just you opt for maybe the cheaper option, like you say, and that kind of stuff. So so omega-3s, and those are really important, right?
Omega-3s are very important to just basic cellular health. So every single cell in your body can become a little bit more efficient, do its job a little bit better, communicate with the next cell more efficiently. Omega-3s will support all of that. So like body, brain, digestion, respiratory, it's a full system kind of help. And then the 4th one, where was I at? Vitamin D. Canadians need vitamin D, which I think is well known all year round. Unless you're outdoors between 10 and 2, even in the summer, we don't get the spectrum of light we need to create it with our skin. And if you're covered in sunscreen, you're also blocking that spectrum of light.
Okay, so and how many IUs should you be taking of that? Or does it?
600 to 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And same with, what about for kids and stuff? Should they be taking vitamin D?
Yep.
Yeah, so anyone can.
Yes. So just look up what the safe dosage levels
Yeah.
would be. There are certain vitamins and the minerals you can get too much of, so just watch those. And a quick Google search would help you with
Yeah.
that, or you can talk to me
Yeah.
about that. And then also keep in mind too that your supplements are meant to supplement.
Yes.
They're not meant to be the plan.
They're not replacing
Everything. Yes.
So you still need to eat healthy.
Yeah. So I always use like inflammation or energy production as an example. Like if you're like, I know I deal with inflammation and I know my conditions might be helped if I reduce that. So we look to like a curcumin or a turmeric or a anti-inflammatory supplement, which may be a great supplement or support, but you're only looking at probably like a 5 to 15-ish% increase. Whereas if you move your body more, incorporate more exercise, you're looking at like a 30 to 50% improvement in inflammation, right? Or if you
so it all kind of connects, right?
Yeah. So if you or increasing fiber is another great one that supports almost every body system. Like increasing fiber, you're looking at like 30 to 40% improved function or reduced inflammation or whatever your goal might be. So the supplement might give you the boost to be able to start incorporating that stuff, but don't let that kind of be the only
thing you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
that's good advice. And you have a workshop coming up for anybody who's interested?
I do, correct. It will be May the 4th, Monday, 6:30 with the City of Kamloops. So you can register through their City of Kamloops portal for all of like, same as like their fitness classes and all that.
And it's all around sort of supplements and diet and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, you're going to really break down the basics, look at understanding some of what is happening within your body. I think if you understand your body best, that's the great place to make decisions from, right? We'll talk about some common supplements. You can ask any questions you might have, and then we'll also look at where can we get this from food sources.
Excellent.
So.
Thank you, Amanda. Always great information. And you can reach out to Amanda right there from any of those avenues on the screen. We're back in a moment.